Welcome to Marvel Champions Podcast. It's a podcast about Marvel Champions, the card game. I am your host, Scott, and with me, as always, my co-host, Ryan.
Thank you. I'm always here because we wouldn't be recording if I wasn't here. Unless you're trying to replace me. Or is this a trick?
Well, we could do some tryouts and see find a better replacement.
I think my wife's been wanting to try out.
Okay, we can make that happen. We can hold a tryout.
Yeah, I asked her the other day, talking about the game, and I said, well, they have a ton of heroes. Name one of your favorite Marvel heroes. And she goes, I think, do they have
Batman.
Wonder Woman? And I go, it's like, no, it's DC. And,
it's not DC Champions. Okay.
Good times.
All right. Well, speaking of Wonder Woman, we got a news article released today, Ryan.
That made no sense, but good segue.
Well, one of them is a female. We're going to get to it here in a second. You can probably see it on the screen already, but yeah, I figured it would be right about this time. So let's just dive right in.
Yeah, honestly, I was not expecting this. We knew that something was coming up, and it was going to be from Boggs, because I think they revealed that recently.
Yeah, there was like a little kind of heroes panel. They did mention it was designer from Boggs, and if you don't know, with scenario packs, it's usually like a cherry on top. You know, once they have a wave, they have extra time and can develop a scenario pack. They might, but it's not a usual product line that's hitting every single wave. So
yeah, it's just something fun to do. And I would say overall, they've been very successful with this scenario. I think that's been some of the best stuff they put out.
Yeah, if you look back historically, minus like Wrecking Crew, it's usually pretty well received.
You know, everyone dogs on Wrecking Crew, but it was still fun, at least at the time. Yeah. I still enjoy playing it.
But like you mentioned, Michael Boggs, it's called Trickster Takeover. One thing I do like about it is it's two separate ones. I always feel like you get a decent bang for your buck when you get two scenarios in a single scenario pack. So
yeah. And I think a lot of people are gonna like having a Loki scenario that's not Infinity Gauntlet based. So I think this will be. I think people will be excited for this.
Chatter I saw was, yay! You can play Loki without having to deal with the Infinity Gauntlet. All right, let's jump right in. Enchantress.
Now, I should note, I have seen all the cards. I have not read the article. So,
all right, so
this
maybe
is
I can
be new for me.
Piece together some of this for you. So it sounds like she is going to be trying to enchant you.
Yep.
So one of her big things is she has this forced response. I guess we'll start with Enchantress. She's a 2-scheme, 1 attack with a forced response. After Enchantress attacks you, place 1 charm counter on the enchantment card in your play area. From what I read in the article, there are 5 different ones. So I do like that. It's a little bit of variety. They are 2-sided. So we'll take a look at one here. Nope, sorry, this is her attachment. So she has this as a permanent attachment. All the identities gain Defiant, or maybe it's yours, who knows. No, this is yours. Sorry. This one's yours. The other side is what has the unique thing. So they're all the same on this side, and then you get to choose after your attack, I think, right? No, in your play area. So
you just put counters on it. It's just trying to
on
get
yours
you to flip
when
it.
she's attacking you. Yep. So
it sounds like you're wanting to stun. You want to stun lock her.
Yeah, it seems like the best way to slow her down, because I imagine when a card flips, it gets bad. So
yeah, I'm guessing if there's 5 of them and they all have the same front, that they're all going to have different effects, whatever they're going to be. Like maybe one's going to be your stun, another one's going to be this or that. I don't know.
Yes, and we're going to see a few of them. They revealed a few of them. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So before we get there, it looks like she has a crown that she wears. So
you gotta have a crown. Scarlet Witch had one too. Yeah, it is.
All right. Looks like an expert. She gains Stalwart. After Enchantress schemes against you, place 1 charm counter on the enchantment card in your play area. Hero action. Each player exhausts their identity and takes 1 damage. Discard this card. That's unique. We've not seen an all players exhaust. Each player exhausts their identity. That's cool. That's
That
new.
sounds terrible.
I mean, I guess if it's solo, it's just you anyways, but
That makes it incredibly hard to get rid of in higher player counts because all 4 exhausting, woof.
Yeah, yeah. But this just speeds her up, though.
Yeah. Quick point of grammar. It says Crown of the Enchantress. Couldn't they just done Enchantress Crown? Or would that have been like Enchantress Crown?
This is saying that the crown makes you the Enchantress. Like, almost the Enchantress is a title. That's in my opinion.
I don't know enough about her in the comics, so.
Okay. I'm just kind of going through here. She's enthralled some lackeys. You want to read this one, Ryan?
He's got Bill, the enthralled lackey. He's got 2 scheme, 1 attack.
Sorry.
He's got 3 health. He's enthralled. He's got quick strike. Okay, cool. But he does have a forced response when he attacks. After this minion attacks you, place 1 charm counter on the enchantment card in your play area. And it looks like he does the same thing for boost. So that sounds like a pain in the neck.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about some of those enchantments, Ryan.
I'm ready for those.
They introduce a new action called a forced action. So reading the article, it says you can't complete your turn until you performed that forced action, but you get to choose when, whether it's at the beginning, the middle, the end. You get to choose whenever you do it.
Interesting.
So, for example, our first flipped enchantment card is Trance of Greed. It's permanent. You're changed from being defiant to enthralled. When revealed, it has a bad thing that happens. And then the forced action, which would occur every single turn, is you exhaust this card, you get to draw 1 card, then play that card paying its cost. If you cannot, you take 1 damage.
Interesting.
So the article talks about this one. If you do it at the beginning, you flip it. Hopefully you have enough to pay for whatever that card is. Hopefully it's good. You play it, and then you continue on with your turn, and you don't take a damage. Or you just play everything, do this forced action, and just know you're taking 1 damage.
You have to play it if you commit. If you can play it, you have to play it.
Yes. Well, I mean, I guess you can choose not to. No, if it's forced, I would think you have to.
I think at least the intent of the card is that you have to do it if you can pay it.
I'm with you. Yeah.
You have to find a way. If you can't, then you just take a damage.
Yep. All right. So another one is Trance of Wrath. Do you want to read this one?
Yeah. When revealed, search the top 5 cards of the encounter deck for a card and reveal it. Ouch. And then forced action, exhaust this card, take 1 indirect damage, deal 2 damage to a minion. Oh, I'm starting to like these, that it's kind of like a bad and a good. Yeah. I like it.
Could be a little bit of both. Well, let's see. I think those are only 2 that we saw, so there should be 3 more.
Interesting.
In addition to her forced action trance, the trait you gain is enchantment attachment. Determines how the enchantress' other cards affect you. So, do my bidding. When revealed, if your identity has the defiant trait, choose 1. If your identity has the enthralled trait, you do both in any order. So, it sounds like you want to be defiant as long as you can.
I wonder if there's a way. I don't know if it's going to be on a scheme or something, if there's a way to go back to defiant. I don't know.
I don't know.
If I was looking at the it's a permanent card, there's did the counters get removed then when you flip?
Probably.
It would have to be a card that says like flip your.
There are 5 or more charm counters here. Remove each charm counter from here and flip this card. So they do get removed.
So they get removed.
You could be onto something. I looked at another one, same thing. She just attacks or thwarts or does both. That's Spell Blast. Yeah, I'm thinking once you're enthralled, it's just life is awful. Here's just another minion.
Hmm.
If you're enthralled, they get more hit points.
I wonder if it's just the natural flow of the game. It's, hey,
Well, I mean,
you're gonna get this after at minimum 5 turns.
yeah. I mean,
But could come sooner.
could be sooner because if she does extra activations, right?
Yeah. Okay. So it sounds like you
Ouch.
might want to flip a lot. Yeah, that does suck. Cinder,
Or attack, yeah, indirect.
also known as Sin Doctor. Whew, that's a
No
tough one.
good. Force interrupt. When a charm counter would be placed on the enchantment card in your play area, if your identity has the enthralled trait, place one threat here instead.
Yeah,
So I
I'm,
think
I'm
you're just out of
I
luck.
think you're stuck. Yeah, once you're enthralled, you're caught in the trap.
And that's not a big threshold, but this is a 1B
Yeah,
and there is no
it'll flip.
loss condition, so there's at least a 2
There's at
A
least
and
two.
2B. So maybe
Yeah,
on that one you
I
can wake up.
wake up.
Yeah.
Copyright. We just got interesting. What's your thoughts, man?
It's something different. Definitely
It's one way to say
feels like
it.
Michael Boggs on some of this. Is it Ronin-esque? I don't know. Yeah, I guess we gotta wait and see. But I do like that
Yeah.
it's different in the way that like gotta be managing. And me personally, I really like pacing and like
Mm-hmm.
forced pacing, and literally force is part of this, a forced action. So I do like how that is forcing you to like figure it out and do it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think there's some cool new things. Obviously, the forced action, brand new thing that I think that's going to be interesting, and excited to see what the designers do with that for future stuff. I don't know if it was Boggs was like, "Hey, I have this idea," or if it was, "Hey, Boggs, I know you've been working on this. This is what we're going to be doing. You want to throw this in?" So it'll be cool to see where the future of that goes. I think for overall this scenario, I think I think I'm digging it. I like how it plays, and like you said, the pacing. It seems like pacing might be pretty good. So I'm interested in on how this one goes.
I agree. Looks like they talk about some enthralled minions, some kind of worse minions.
Some
They do
nasty boys.
put a few of these
Those are
in
nasty
here.
boys, but
This is from the Trickster Magic encounter set. The villain gains Stalwart.
I like
That's
it.
cool. I like that.
That looks like a rough card, but I like it.
Yep. It's only got a threshold of 4, so it doesn't scale. It just is.
Yeah, good art.
So,
I like the idea
yeah.
behind it.
Love Triangle.
Classic.
Attached to an ally. Otherwise, against Surge, the ally cannot attack the villain or defend against villain attacks. I like that. That's cool. You exhaust the ally and spend a mental resource, and they are no longer in love. So
Yeah,
that's all it takes.
yeah, interesting.
And then I'm not going to talk too much about
Yeah,
these.
we'll let the people look at those.
Yeah.
I like how they're bringing back some of the older minions slash villains that we've seen in the past. So
Yeah. I like
give
it.
them new life.
Yep. And they're all victory. So
Good for them. Next.
So the one thing they do mention is when you defeat them, they are no longer enthralled, and then they actually help you
Yes,
become
yeah.
allies.
I guess we probably should mention that because that is, I think, I'm guessing going to be an important part of this scenario is they get to help you out, which I think is another cool idea for this scenario.
Yeah. So here's the absorbing man. That's your buddy.
Interesting. Yeah, I like the idea behind that. So
That's cool though. Like he like touches whatever to like power up. So you exhaust an upgrade or support, and he gains the cost. That's a cool mechanic. I like that.
I saw him, but I didn't really look into it. So you exhaust something, and he gains the
He
based
pluses
off the
by the
cost.
cost. Yeah, and it's
Interesting.
but it's
You
in
can
a row.
make
You don't
him
have
really-
to do it, right?
You
But
can make him pretty
it's
powerful.
to your benefit. Yeah,
I mean,
And
he's
it's up
only
to
got
3.
2 shots
yeah.
because he's got the double.
Yep.
Consequential. So
So that's it.
all right. Well, let's talk about this next one. Now, fair warning, listeners. I have no idea what's going on this one. This one is it's tricking me. Loki's got me.
Okay. Well, I think the big thing in the article is it introduces you can play it as, your stereotypical solo mode of 4 players, or you can do this epic multiplayer mode where I assume you have like 4 independent games, or up to 4 maybe, going on at once. They do mention that this Loki, God of Lies, is the like big main bad, and then he's got kind of these,
Sub
I don't know,
minion
what would
or
you call
sub
them?
villains.
Yeah, or like mirages, or there's figments or something. Who knows what they are? Illusions. That's what I was looking for. These illusions of Loki and the different rascal, miscreant, knave, and wretch. So
So let's take a step back. It introduces a new playstyle called Epic Multiplayer Mode. What does that mean? Like you can
that
have
means that in August
games.
we are gonna get a FFG live that we get to watch.
And see
That's
how
what
it
that
works.
means. Yes.
So, because the way you made it sounds like you have 4 different games going.
I think you can have up to 4 different individual play areas
So
that are functioning as their own games,
so you
right?
can have 12 heroes facing off Loki.
You
Is
can
that
have
what
16 heroes. That's my
for
guess. So we could be
4
completely
times
off,
4
but
is
four,
16?
four, four, four. Right.
Yes, I could do math.
Math.
All right. Math.
Math. Ryan was a
Yeah,
mathlete growing up, just so
16.
everybody knows.
I did fail a math course in high school. I didn't fail it. I bombed the final, and I chose to retake it because I didn't want to take another math, and I wanted to get a higher grade. And either way, college was way better. I was a lot smarter in college than I was in high school.
There you go. All right.
Okay,
I
so
guess we
this
start
one,
looking at some of these.
so this is the main one,
Yes.
and
This
he's
is
got
the
20 health. Okay. And if Loki, God of Lies, has 10 per player health or fewer remaining hit points, flip this card.
so half. So if he
Okay.
gets half health, he flips.
And he's probably going to be tougher, I'm assuming.
I'm gonna assume, or he becomes the bad guy you face. I have no idea.
So I wonder, because his scheme and thwart are dashes. So if you get rid of one of these illusions, I guess, do you just beat him up? Does he attack you? Interesting.
I don't know. I mean, the article may say more, but it could be like Kang, and this is just hypothetical. Do you get sucked into another play area? I don't know.
Interesting. Maybe you do. Well, there's no way you get sucked into another play area because if it's an epic multiplayer, you can't have 8 heroes versus 1 villain, right?
I don't know. It's epic. It is. It's in the title, Ryan. It's epic.
I think the other term for epic is a 12-hour game.
You thought a 4-player game was long, Ryan. Wait till you play a 16-player game.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna
What
be
is
Twilight Imperium.
what is that? So if he has 20 hit points per player,
Oh my god.
you're the math person, right? And we have 16. It's
Well-
like 320. So that's why the dials have those extra numbers on it, right?
Well, they were like, how do we ever get those extra numbers used?
Right. How do we incorporate those into the game?
We figured it out.
All right.
Jeez, man. That is
So
insane.
it says that he's the main one, whether you're playing either scenario, but then you have to defeat these in order to win. Yeah, so here's his main scheme. So we are introduced to this new little icon here.
Epic player mode.
Yes.
Each blank icon on Loki, God of Lies, counts the total number of players in all game areas.
Yeah. So if he's 20 per player, is up to, if we're assuming it's max of 4. Yeah.
320. Each blank icon on this scheme counts the total number of groups in all pods.
So it would
Okay.
be 2 times 4.
Yes.
So 8 would be the
Wow.
thing here.
It's only an 8?
See, I don't know how that works.
See, for example, we'll just say, let's not try to make it complicated. Let's just say it's just you and me. It'd be 2 threshold,
It would be
right?
2, yeah. Because if we had 1 pod
We
in
have
standard solo mode,
1.
yeah,
I'm guessing we'd face 1 of those illusions.
I guess so.
Unless we wanted to separate and
Play
basically play
2
solo.
1 player, right?
Yeah.
And then come together at the end to save everything. Yeah.
Save the world.
Share
the
by all groups of
cheerleader.
players,
Save the world.
which not only prevents everyone from damaging Loki, but also prevents any threat from being removed from itself. The only way you're going to be able to damage Loki is to shatter the illusion, and to do that, you're going to have to fight his various avatars.
Loki, the last airbender.
So you put shatter counters here and flip the card when you go to defeat it.
After you resolve a boost card during Loki the Rascal's activation, if that card's a treachery, is that going to be the same for all of them? That first one, or is it slightly different? The force response.
It's probably going to be slightly different on each of them. So this is the fading figment. This is the other side of the card.
Yeah, so this is like the treachery one. There's probably like an attack one and Thor
Sure.
one. And when the villain would be defeated, place 5 shatter counters here and flip this card instead. Let's see what the shatter counter is. Shatter the illusion. See the set aside shatter the illusion card. Choose a, oh my gosh.
Okay, sorry.
Choose a group in your pod. Then, wait, choose a group in your pod. Like your podcast? No. That's
no
confusing. Choose, shouldn't it be like
A
choose a
group in
player
your
in your pod?
I have no idea.
Then play synergy counters on their unified front environment equal to the number of players. So there's an environment as well that goes into this.
Sure. All right. Let's just hold off. Let's look at each of these Lokis. We already looked at this dude. So this is the miscreant. After you resolve a treachery, place 1
There's
threat
threat
on
one.
the main scheme and 1 threat on a side scheme.
Okay, so there's the threat one.
After you resolve a treachery, deal 1 damage to your identity and 1 damage to an ally you control.
The damage one.
And then when Loki, the wretch, activates against you, discard the top card of the encounter deck. If a treachery was discarded this way, Loki, the wretch, gains +1/+1 for this activation.
There's 4 of
Four.
these.
Yep.
A, B, C, and D.
And here's a random side scheme. Lofty goals. When defeated, place 2 shatter counters on the avatar of Loki villain. Take 1 indirect damage as a boost. Okay, 5 shatter counters. So I guess more shatter counters is a good thing?
Yes. Let's read what Shatter does. When a fading figment is revealed, follow these steps to shatter Loki's illusion. Remove each shatter counter from facing or fading figment, then deal damage to Loki, god of lies, equal to the number of shatter counters removed this way. Oh my gosh, that's gonna take forever. Swamp the fading figment and play with a random set aside villain. Return Loki's side, then set the hit point down or villain to its printed hit point value. Deal each player 1 face down encounter card. So how
So
does
these
that
guys
work?
are going to keep coming back, I guess.
And their health is not low.
No. So it sounds like you need to, well, maybe they don't come back, who knows? You need to keep putting as many counters and counters and counters and counters on top of them before you defeat them.
I'm starting to think that all the epic multiplayer mode, everyone has to have their own set of cards. Like if you're playing with 4 groups, each
Everybody
group
has all
is
4
gonna have to have it. But the only thing
that are
that they
coming
share
out
is that
randomly?
main, yeah.
Yeah.
And the only thing they share is that main villain. And so everyone is working on you're basically doing
Their own independent game from you, but you're trying to defeat the same main villain bad guy.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're doing like 5 damage at a time, maybe a little bit more with this whole environment thing that it talks about on the faded figment, but that's what I'm thinking now, because it doesn't make sense that that card says you switch between them if there's one in each group. But if each
Well, it
group
does
has their
say
own swapping out.
that when you defeat him, you get some synergy counters that goes into 4 special synergy environments. These cards represent the heroes from around the world working together to take Loki down. They provide you some pretty powerful bits. These are environments that you get.
So the environments are helpful.
Yes. So you can have a max 1 per player synergy counters here, and then an interrupt when a friendly character attacks. Remove 1 synergy counter from here. That attack deals 4 additional damage.
But that doesn't help other players, just your group.
I guess so. Unit ride front. And they're permanents. So same thing, max 1 per person. Remove 1 synergy counter from here and generate 2 wild resources.
So you can do some helping here. Oh, here we go. Do we want to get to his second one after you flip, or should we wait on that?
I think this is it. Is this not it? No, this is just the harder one.
No, this is him flipping.
This is 2. Okay.
That's what I'm
But
assuming.
he's not the one attacking you. It's the illusions.
When revealed, each group is in standard mode attaches their set aside intense focus to their villain in the game area. Each group in expert mode flips their intense focus attachment to its total focus side. If Loki Godflies is defeated, all players in all groups win the game. Yeah, so this is the flip side of it.
Yeah. So he's 20 per player.
So it doesn't change.
Okay, and here's his intense focus. So everyone attaches it to him.
So
this is what makes his attack.
Is that
and I guess
already
you're all attacking him?
Is that what it's... Is it already attached?
No. That's what happens when this is revealed. Each group in standard mode attaches their set aside intense focus. So it starts out of play, set aside. This card does, and they all attach it to it.
It might lead to that everybody has to have their own set,
unless it just has multiple copies. But you could be right. I don't know. Because then if it's just a regular game, it's only 1, I guess. I don't know. So the Avatar Loki villain gets +2 per player hit points and gains steady. When revealed in standard mode, discard the top 2 cards per player, cards from the counter deck, and the top 5s of each player deck. Yikes. That's total focus.
So if you're expert mode, it gets this one.
Yeah, gets this side.
So he gains steady, some hit points, some more stuff.
We got to go get the Dark Scepter, which I think that's the last one. Yeah.
Yowzers. So the question is like, he attacking...
Treacheries cannot be canceled. Jeez.
Is he attacking you as well as his...
Well, it sounds like you're attaching... I got rid of it. Hold on. Okay, let's just read here. If your game group is playing... Of course, just sit there and wait for you. When he drops to half health, flips to second stage, triggering the intense focus and powering up his avatars for the rest of the game. So they get boost too.
So is the idea that the main Loki is attacking you, but since he does not have any stats, he's technically not attacking you? Is that kind of the idea that we're going with? Well, that's when he gets that attached. I'm talking about the first part. Or like, do those... Let's see, hold on.
No, you attach him to the avatar of Loki, so you're not actually ever... He's not ever actually attacking or doing anything to you.
So you're never dealing with him directly.
No, you're just dealing damage in the way of defeating the avatars.
The avatars, okay.
Yeah.
That means there would have to be 4 copies of each of those things if you can play all this on one deck.
Right. And your assumption that you're making is everyone that's playing their own individual game is playing their own individual copy of Trickster.
Yes.
Whatever
that's
it's
what
called.
I'm thinking. It doesn't say that, does it? It probably says it like the first word, and we're totally
Right?
just speculating
Probably
on.
like a bunch of idiots.
Just
Don't
read the
know
article.
they're champions.
Man, you guys are a bunch of chumps.
Bunch of champs. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, this comes out in August. FFG Live in August. So
Here, scroll up to the first part of this scenario. Okay, as mentioned earlier in this article, the scenario introduces a brand new these avatars have spread all across.
hold on. Okay. Yep.
What's for all? Yeah, I just don't see the way the wording is. You randomly pull out another version, but you can't do that if you're playing. It's a little more difficult to do that in a multiplayer, epic multiplayer if you're maxed out,
And
unless
you're probably
you're just pulling out the
right
same one over and over again.
because you're having an encounter deck. You need an encounter deck that would be a stack of cards. Like, yeah,
Yeah, if
where
you're
my
doing
camera can
everybody,
see.
it'd have to be.
This is the encounter deck, guys.
You're playing Jenga with the cards.
Yeah.
If you knock it over,
So
it's an automatic acceleration token.
I think you're right. I think the set aside ones are randomly jumping into your game area randomly, but you're just all attacking the main one big one. Everyone's going to see some combo of the four inside their own individual games.
Yeah.
And we'll have, I assume everybody takes their villain phases all the same. And I guess you can kind of play independent because you're independent, so you can just keep going.
Yeah. It's you're basically independent until I would guess. Well, I don't know. I think you probably
Until
could
the
just
final
almost like
blow
race
is
it.
dealt. Yeah, because I mean, hypothetically, you could play a two-player game in Pod 1 or whatever they're referencing, the groups or pods or whatever, and then there'd be a four-player game, a solo game, a four-player, three-player. So, because it takes into account all the player sizes. So now you need friends that buy the game, right?
Well, there's your problem. I need friends.
So, all right, we could be totally wrong. We could be onto something. I guess we'll know in a few months.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap this thing up. What do you think? Final thoughts on Loki?
I think Loki's gonna be a tough one again. I mean, none of these look fun. I do like Enchantress' forced
None of them
action
look
stuff.
fun.
No, none of them look fun to like fight against. I mean, they all look like an uphill battle. So,
Well, the game wouldn't be fun if it was always easy.
I think we skipped out on a couple of cards. I guess we'll look at some of these.
Mischief and mayhem.
Okay, so here's the big thing. I guess we should have read these cards.
Why read it? I like speculating.
The main scheme, wherever it was, I guess doesn't go up naturally. Maybe it's just if you let his like secondary. Yeah, see, it doesn't go up naturally. This, if you let his like sub main schemes,
sub main,
whatever they're called, these thread out. That's where it's adding to those. So you're gonna have like a one main ultra main scheme, and then these main schemes.
It's funny enough. We talked about Wrecking Crew. It almost feels like kind of that side scheme, or the main scheme is that it just goes up one by one. It doesn't. The villain doesn't add to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just
the same thing here.
It's just like
if the villain defeats a hero, you don't just die from the game. You actually reset, but you're adding to the worlds collide.
When an identity would be defeated. Oh, that's interesting. I like that. So that you're not losing naturally in that game. You're losing by other means. I like that.
Yeah. I think there was like a Malekith, this guy, Grendel. Yeah.
Minions.
Just some big old dark elves. So, yep.
Well, I'll have to say that this one looks incredibly complicated. There's a lot going on, especially if you attempt to do this epic player mode. Maybe it's more simple than we're leading on. Maybe you just kind of have to play it.
I need a diagram.
Okay, I see it.
I need a diagram.
You need a flow chart.
That's right.
Did you take damage? Go here.
No. Go down. Yes, go here.
I think I think it has potential. It does sound difficult, but maybe that's a good thing. I'm curious how it will fully operate. I'm curious if we got it right enough to like that we have the idea, or if maybe we're completely off and it's like, man, this is super terrible. I don't
Epic
think it's that
failure
bad.
mode. Yeah,
Epic
no.
failure
I mean,
mode.
it looks cool. The like thought of a big epic battle to me is promising. So I hope it works as intended.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope it feels like you hope it is supposed to. So
You know what? It just came to my head, and I'm I have no idea, but this is gonna be a prediction. Are you ready for this?
okay, let's hear it.
They tested this epic player mode because they wanted to see how it will go, how the fans will respond to it, and all that. Because I'm thinking that they're gonna do that for Galactus whenever he comes out. What do you think?
It's possible.
He's the destroyer of worlds.
It is. Are
He's
you sure he's not a
huge.
giant like cloud from Fantastic Four 2 or 1 or whatever he was 2? Yeah. Just a giant
The,
space cloud.
he's the space cloud. Oh, that was Green Lantern, wasn't
Well, they were both space
it? They're
clouds.
both in there. I know.
They,
Uh,
Green Lantern stole that from Fantastic Four 2.
I know, I know. But I'm calling it. I'm gonna call it that. This epic player mode is gonna be for Galactus whenever that comes out. It could be in 5 years, 10 years. I don't know about 10 years, but
You could also do it as like a celestial. You have to like battle up the celestial or something.
ego.
Or
There you go.
ego, yeah. That's
Take
cool.
out ego.
Ego. Take
Each
out
player
Vigo.
has its own planet, and he's like
Yeah.
controlling it somehow, or I don't know, or part of the
All
planet.
right. I'm hopeful.
I'm personally more excited right now for Enchantress because I can comprehend it, but I do look forward to both. I'm always excited for the scenario packs. I get excited for those.
Yep. Should be good. A lot of green.
I
Start your
know.
green cards.
Okay. Probably not the best time for that one. But it's going to cost you a lot of green, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, a lot of green. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It's like $20, 20 something bucks. No.
That's actually not that bad.
No, for 2 scenario packs, it's pretty good. Plus an epic multiplayer battle mode. Epic.
Epic.
So, all right, we want to hear your thoughts. Are you excited? Tell us which one you're more excited for, Loki or Enchantress. Leave us a comment.
Like and
Give us a
subscribe.
review. Like, subscribe, all the things. If you haven't watched on YouTube, go watch and look at our pretty faces. So, ooh. And as always, if you want to go from a chump to a champ, listen to the Marvel Champions podcast. Thanks.
See you later.